Heal Shears. Hey, Jack, how are you? How are you? Bleach, how are you? I mean, we're taking this seriously, but we can talk about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Full Metal Alchemist and the anime The Seven Deadly Sins and even Digimon, believe it or not. They have some association with them as well. So we're going to be talking about a lot tonight. Why did I eat Chinese before doing the stream? It was good Chinese, though. Oh, yeah. It's going to be fucking crazy. But it's going to be great. What the fuck was that? Oh, it's one of my failed ones. Oh, dude, what you have? I just had sweet and sour chicken, and it was so fucking good. I love sweet and sour chicken. It says 0 people are one. Okay, that was this one person. I don't know. YouTube's weird. But no, yeah, I didn't stream on Friday because I had work, and I work in a food truck, and that was like in 100-degree weather, and the humidity was horrible, so I was dying out there, and it sucked so much. And yesterday, I know I put on my Twitter that I had technical issues, but in all honesty, my friend really needed me, so I just put technical issues just to make it easier to post on social media. But my friend needed me last night, so I had to help them out a bit. They're doing okay now, so I mean, at least that's good. So I had to put the stream on hold till today. So I'm sorry about that delay. And then last week I let me see. Last Friday I forgot to film encrypted ratings, and then I meant to film it during the week, but I just got really busy. I didn't have a chance to really film it. And when I did have a chance, it was super late at night. So I'm going to try to film one of those today, and probably post it tomorrow or something to make up for the lack of cryptid ratings. And if any of you guys have any other suggestions for little mini series, for like series, like, and if you have any other ideas for any other series you'd like me to cover on this channel, please let me know. I'll be happy to try them out. I also recently found my old flash drive from back during my freshman year of high school. Now, on that flash drive, it had 2 games on there. It had Slender, like the older Slender that still works, and SCP Containment Breach, which didn't work, so I had to download the new version. But either way, I have Slender and SCP Containment Breach, and I would like to play those on this channel at some point. However, I don't know how to stream those. All I'm doing right now is streaming from my webcam on my computer. I literally have no idea how to stream games or anything else on this computer. So I need a so if you guys can help me figure out a way to do that, I really would like to do a playthrough of Slender and SCP Containment Breach for you guys. So any help that you guys have would honestly be super appreciated. So I just need do you know what software at all, Jack? All right, because I would love to do a little playthrough of Containment Breach and Slender for you guys, and like any other like little horror games that like free to play horror games out there. That would be great. Yeah, every time I keep going back to SCP Containment Breach, I was playing this last night while I was talking to my friend, and the old man kept getting me, like the old man that pulls you down to his pocket dimension, and I always end up in the weirdest places, and I hate when he pulls me down there, but I love going down there at the same time because it's so cool. Came into contact with 049, the Plague Doctor. The statue followed me around a shit ton. These alligator-like flesh monsters follow me around. Um, it's a great game though. I fucking love it. I remember playing this back in my freshman year of high school, and I just realized how bad I missed it. And it's good to have that game back. It's nostalgia really that I really miss. So really glad to have that back. And anyway, I've been rambling on for a little bit now, so let's just get started into the video. So, hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to Cryptocast, your source for all things cryptid-related, unknown, and paranormal. I'm your host, Parker, and welcome back to another Cryptocast Livestream. So again, for the people that just showed up, Friday I couldn't stream because I had work, and I do have OBS. I just don't know how to work it. I know it's like the easiest fucking thing to use, but I have no clue how to work OBS. It's just so hard. I don't know how to work it. I need help with that. If anybody wants to help me with OBS, I will gladly accept all help. I need as much help with that as I can get. But for the people that just showed up, Friday I couldn't stream because I had work. I worked in 100-degree weather outside in a food truck. I was near the grill. The humidity was crazy, and it essentially killed me. I remember I drank like 2 full bottles of water, a full bottle of Sprite, some more water, and then I came home like at 8:30. And I was out there for like 5 hours, and I came home and I was just like mumbling random shit like, "Oh, the fucking feeling this." I don't know. I was out of it due to heat. I got like a fucking migraine because of it, but that cleared up, so I'm good now. And then yesterday I would have streamed, but I know I put on social media that I had technical issues, but my friend actually needed me, and I figured it would be like a lot easier just to put technical issues on the Twitter page. So my friend's doing all right now, a little bit better than they were yesterday. So I'm glad to hear that. So yeah. So and again with the cryptid rating videos, I last week after the stream, I usually film one after the stream. I just forgot to record it, and I meant to record it during the week, but I was just so busy, I just kind of completely forgot about it. And then when I remembered, I'm just like, oh, it was like 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm just like, yeah, I'll film it tomorrow. And then of course that came, and then that came, and it kept going and going, and I didn't have any cryptid ratings. So I'm gonna film one of those tonight. I'm doing the Ozark Howler. I'm doing it right after the stream, so it'll be up tomorrow, guys. No worries on that. But I do apologize for not having that up. And excuse me. So yeah, I just need to get everything. Hey Lily, how are you? So I just need to film a cryptid ratings video and do this live stream. And if you guys didn't, I know I filmed one late at night. earlier this week. Um, I did a Bigfoot episode. Thomas came back on the stream. I know you're here for a little bit of it, Jack, but I know a lot of you weren't. So you guys get 2 live streams this week. So if you guys missed that stream, it's still up on my channel. So feel free to check that out. We talk about like the woo believers. That's what the community calls them. It's just like the people that believe Bigfoot is like either a supernatural or psychic being. So we talked a little bit about that, and Thomas read some like funny experiences that he got from people who were woo believers as well, and it was just a fun, like, lighthearted, somewhat serious stream. But you know, regardless, I had fun doing it. Thomas had fun. I mean, Thomas is a good guy, so um, yeah, I'm glad that he can come out for another episode. And I know at some point I'm going to try to have him come out again for another episode. And I don't know. I'm thinking this Friday. I have to see if my friend works or not, but I would like to get them on the channel because they're big into like reptiles and frogs and all that stuff. And they actually have some themselves. Shout out to you, Molly, if you're watching right now. I don't know her work schedule. I'm going to try to have her on the stream at some point. Maybe this week. I don't know. I'll have to talk to her about it. And we're going to be talking about cryptids like the Megaconda, the Loveland frog, Megalania, just all these like reptiles and amphibious cryptids. And we'll kind of, and since she knows like really well about them, like reptiles and amphibians and stuff, she might be able, and she's like good like in the scientific field, so maybe she might be able to shed some light like on, hey, this is what this creature would need to do to survive in the wild today. Like the Megalania has to eat this much a day to survive. The Megaconda has to eat this much to survive. So, you know, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing that. So get ready for that. Like I said, I'll have to get in contact with her. Either way, it's going to be soon, hopefully, because I really want to do the stream with you guys, and she's been wanting to come on the show for a little bit too. So, it's going to be fun. Oh wait, actually, if she can't do it this week, I don't know why this just popped into my head. Um, I don't know. I mean, because I know Jack, you're from Mexico, so this just popped in my head. Because I was thinking of something, and like I was thinking if she can't do the show, and then I looked up and I saw you on my live chat over here. I'm like, huh, Jack's from Mexico. Maybe if she can't do the show on Friday, I can do cryptids and creatures and stuff from Mexico. That would be kind of fun, like La Lechuza, um, La Llorona, just and that one statue that of that one mannequin that's in that bridal shop. I believe it's in Chihuahua in Mexico. The one that looks super super lifelike. I may have to talk about her at some point. So if my friend can't do the reptile amphibian stream this week, I will be doing the Mexican cryptids and urban legends. The little hand. Oh, that's right. The little severed hand that just scurries across the floor. I love that. But oh gosh, maybe you guys, Jack, do you know the name of this, or maybe the chat does? It's the mannequin that's in Chihuahua, Mexico, that like looks so lifelike. People believe that's actually like a preserved body, and people get really, really unnerved and freaked out by her because she looks so lifelike that people are like, maybe this is a real body, maybe it isn't. They believe it's like the body of the bridal shop's owner. I forgot her name, but she's in Chihuahua, Mexico, in a bridal shop. Yes, it does. I forgot its name. And no, people are like, I watched this one video about this one lady. She's a mortician. Hey, God bless capitalism. How are you? And yeah, I could do something about him too because he's part of that. So yeah, but no, that statue though, the mannequin, she has like veins like on her hand, like really, really well, like thin veins that are really hard to replicate. So it's this just huge debate whether is she a real person that was being like preserved like so much over the years, or is she just a mannequin? But either way, it's cool. It freaks me out because believe it or not, I'm actually kind of scared of dolls. So if this is actually like just a mannequin, it's so lifelike. It's just that it's like falls in like the uncanny valley area. So it's just really, I don't know. It's it's just super duper bizarre, man. It's so yeah. If my friend can't do the reptile stream, I'm gonna be doing no, but that one is fucking freaky, guys. Dear God, the one that Bleach is talking about. That one scares the crap out of me. I may have to do a haunted doll stream revisited at some point because I did do that. Like it was one of my earlier streams, like from last year. I'll have to go back and revisit at some point. But no, this one it so Bleach. This is just it's a mannequin in a bridal shop in Chihuahua, Mexico, and it's believed people believe that it's a real body that's been preserved like over many years, or it's just a mannequin that looks so lifelike, and she has like thin veins on her hand that look really difficult to craft, and apparently she moves at night, and she just looks so lifelike that people get so unnerved and freaked out by her, and it's really weird and really freaky. So um yeah, if I do I, oh, I mean, I can talk about dolls. I mean, they just kind of freak me out a little bit, but I don't mind talking about them. More or less. Yeah. I mean, there's things that freak me out more, like worse than dolls, but I would not want to spend a room in a night with dolls. I've talked about the Island of the Dolls before, so I'll have to talk about that. But either way, I'm kind of getting off track here, just talking about stream ideas. You guys can help me think of those, but yeah, I feel like if yeah, but I feel like if my friend can't do that this week, I will do Mexican urban legends and cryptids from Mexico. So that'll be actually kind of fun to do. We got La Lechuza, La Llorona, um, and like I said, the doll, the giant mannequin from the bridal shop. So this is going to be a good stream that I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to both of these that are coming up. All right, so oh yeah, I could talk about some deep web stuff. Oh, I really would like to talk about some deep web stuff, guys, but there is one guy who I would love to have guest star on the show, right? But I don't know. He's a busy dude. He's I don't know. I don't know how hard he is to get a hold of, but I would love to do a stream with this guy. His YouTube name's Some Ordinary Gamers, but his name's Mudahar. He does deep web browsing episodes every Sunday. He just uploaded the new one today. He's on episode 210, so he did this for 210 weeks, and um, he's been there so much. Like I would just love to hear some of his stories about the deep web and just kind of debunk some myths. So yeah, if you guys can message him, just let him know like or something like, hey, like if he like gets like, hey, I mean obviously don't spam his inbox or something or like spam his Twitter, but just be like, hey, like maybe like one tweet from like multiple people or something. Um like some like Cryptocast wants to interview you for the show or something because I really would love to have him on the show because he seems like a genuinely good guy and he seems really chill and down to earth and I'd love to talk to him about some of his deep web exploration. So if you guys can help me get him on the show, I will really appreciate it. So just guys help me out with this one. I I would fucking appreciate it. So yeah, I want to try to get him on the show. So if you guys can help me out, I would really fucking appreciate it because I've been wanting to do a deep web episode for the longest time right now. And But I don't know. I mean, it's just hard for like some of the, you know how it kind of works. Like it's hard for like the lower YouTube channels to kind of reach out to the bigger channels and try to get them on for like guest starring on the show and everything. It's kind of hard like that. So I mean, if you guys can help me out with that, I would genuinely appreciate it. Because I mean, like if the public wants it, I feel like maybe some of them might accept. But that's just me. So just let me know, help me out, guys. Try to help me get him on the show because I would love to have this man on the show. But anyway, holy crap, I've just been rambling on for about 20 minutes now, and I haven't even started talking about the topic. Okay, so let's talk about this. So, if you guys can tell by the title, today we are going to be talking about the seven deadly sins and the seven holy virtues. Now, I grew up Catholic, guys, if you guys don't know that. So, I mean, I'm not Catholic anymore. But, well, so I was taught like a lot about the seven deadly sins. I could probably name them all now, like lust, pride, wrath, greed, envy, gluttony, sloth. Um, hey, oh hey, how are you? But I don't. But the thing is, I don't know a lot. I don't know. Honestly, can't tell you the names of the seven holy virtues because nobody really ever taught me them. All I know is the seven deadly sins, which is kind of ironic because I feel like they should teach both. Honestly, if you go to a Catholic school, private school, but I mean the seven deadly sins are what everybody hears like about more than the seven holy virtues. So let's look up the seven deadly sins first. We'll get them out of the way. Talk about the seven holy virtues next, and then talk about where they appear in TV shows and anime, such as Digimon. Believe it or not, each there's seven Digimon called the. But yeah, so in Digimon there are the seven demon lords, like Beelzemon, Lucemon, all these Digimon that are like the seven deadly sins. Each of them represents something, and um, so we're going to be talking about some of these, like where they appear in like not social media, in just like in like media, like movies, TV shows, video games, um, all that stuff. So there's going to be a little Seven Deadly Sins anime in here, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. If you guys don't want spoilers for those, I'll give you a heads up, and you can click off at that point if you don't want to get spoiled or anything. If you plan to watch them, because honestly, I haven't seen Seven Deadly Sins yet. That's on my list, but I've seen Full Metal Alchemist and Brotherhood, and I've seen Digimon. So I'm more knowledgeable in those than the Seven Deadly Sins anime. So let's look up the seven deadly sins and maybe get some more info on these. Hmm. Oh, right. Also, I want to give a shout out to Ash in my Discord server. They go by the name Mothman's Milkman. So they actually suggested the stream today. So be sure to thank them. They actually suggested this today. So all right. All right, so let's talk about the seven deadly, and of course, I get the anime and manga. We're gonna talk about these. All right, we're gonna talk about these right now. I'm getting them pulled up, so I sent an invite link to my server to somebody from another server, so I'm hoping they'll join at some point. But either way, I have to pull up the wiki for the seven holy virtues. I don't know if it's those off the top of my head, and I know there's more to the seven deadly sins than honestly I know. So I got to I get this all set up really. So there we go. Fucking there. All right. So I'm just honestly on the wiki about the seven deadly sins. If you guys would like to follow on there, I'm not going to read the whole thing because, dear God, it's crazy. So, each sin, I found the list. It looks like each sin has a corresponding virtue that goes with it, which is the good version. So, lust, its virtue is chastity. Gluttony, its virtue is temperance. Greed, its virtue is charity. Sloth is diligence. Wrath is patience. Envy is gratitude, and pride is humility. So I kind of had I kind of knew a few of those, but um, it's I don't know. I know more about the seven deadly sins than I do the seven holy virtues. I was never ever taught about those. So we'll see what we can do here. And all these sins they appeared in Dante's Inferno, and that's still on my read list because I fucking that sounds like fucking amazing. My friend read it, said it was a masterpiece, so I gotta. So it's on my read list. Exactly. I mean, no. I mean, you're right, Bren. I wanted to say that too, but I didn't want to say it at the same time. But you said it for me, so thank you. And you're right. You're right because no, like yeah, I grew up knowing the seven deadly sins, nothing about the seven holy virtues. Like I honestly didn't even know there were seven holy virtues until oh dear God, when was this? I didn't know there were seven holy virtues until honestly about a month or two ago. Um, yeah, and I've been out of Catholic school since like my sophomore year of high school. I mean, since my freshman year of high school, that was my last year at Catholic school, and I'm actually like a junior in college right now. So that was when I was 15. I'm 21 right now. I'm gonna be 22 here in honestly like oh God, no. Oh no. I'm gonna be 22 a week from Friday. Dear God, no. I'm not ready, guys. I'm gonna be 22 a week from Friday. Even though I literally look like I'm fucking 16. I promise I'm not. So let's see. All right, guys, which one should we talk about first? Do we want to talk about lust? Do we want to talk about gluttony? Do we want to talk about greed, sloth, wrath, envy, or pride? Which, excuse me, which one should we talk about first? All right, let me see. Hmm. Lust is a fun one. Let's talk about lust. Lust is a psychological force producing intense wanting or longing for an object or circumstance fulfilling the emotion. Lust can take any form, such as lust for sexuality, love, money, or power. It can take such mundane forms that, such as the lust for food, as distinct from the need for food. So pretty much, lust is just wanting something really, really bad, and pretty much trying to get that. And I will do envy right after after I finish lust. And exactly, Lily, exactly. There's a, oh my God, there's a fucking mosquito. There it is. Did I get it? No. Oh, did I get it now? Fuck. No, it's still down here. If you guys see me just flailing my arms around like really weirdly, it's because there's a mosquito, and those are never fun to deal with. Let me see. So In Buddhism, lust holds a critical position in the philosophical underpinnings of Buddhist reality. It is named the second one of the Four Noble Truths, which are that suffering is inherent in all life. Suffering is caused by desire. There's a natural way to eliminate suffering from one's life, and the ending of desire eliminates all suffering from someone's life. Um, and then in Christianity, it talks about lust a lot. I mean, obviously it's in the Bible, so I mean, there's oh my god, there is so oh, that is not safe for work. Oh dear God. Oh god, that was that was a statue of a woman like holding two snakes, like bare breast, butt ass naked. It was like a wall carving. Saved folder. I mean, no, I didn't. I promise. I promise I really didn't. I'm just fucking with you guys. But all it does is really talk about. So let's see. Fame and Roman is personified. So lust was usually in Roman times. It was personified as a siren or naked woman with breasts being bitten by snakes. So that's where that statue or that little wall carving that I've seen comes from. So lust was represented. It was just this woman. It was just this woman like pretty much naked, having her breasts like her nipples bit by snakes. That's probably a fetish somewhere in the world. I don't know where, but it's somewhere. I can believe that. Okay, so according to Saint Thomas Aquinas, um, the lust comes in many different forms, and those forms are wet dreams, adultery, simple fornication. That's like just having sex with like your wife or your girlfriend just for fun, not to have babies, but just for fun. The I can't say this word on the channel because I don't want to trigger people, but it's a word that starts with R. You guys probably know where I'm going with this. And seduction and unnatural vice. Unnatural vice is the worst kind. There's a fucking mosquito. I'm gonna I'm gonna dive bomb it. Damn it! Got away. Oh shit. And unnatural vice is the worst kind of lust because it is unnatural in act and purpose. A natural vice happens, but Aquinas provides several examples, including bestiality, intercourse with a thing of another species, for example, animals. Aquinas said bestiality goes beyond the bands of humanity and therefore is unnatural. He's a wise guy, guys. Don't don't actually I don't want to do that, my kid. Don't don't do it with animals. We need to find you Jesus, Lily. I'm sorry, that's the only way. You're too far gone. But yeah, so that last one's just common sex. Common sex, no. Oh my god, no, that could no. I said that I meant that's common sense. That's common sense. Guys, just 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 don't have just don't have sex with animals, guys. It's not good. It's really not good. All right, so you want to talk about envy next, I believe. Bleach. Where are? Yep, you said envy. Mm. 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 I don't know, Jack. I really don't know. So let's talk about envy. Oh my God. Portrait of a demented woman or the monomatic of jealousy named the hyena of La Saphir of La Salpêtrie or some I can't pronounce it. All right. So envy is an emotion which occurs when a person lacks another's superior quality, achievement, or possession and either desires it or wishes that the other lacked it. So like let's just say, hey, I have this glue bottle. This really, really nice glue bottle. I know I actually did not sniff that. I thought about it for the memes, but I decided nah, not gonna do it. But um I have this glue bottle and one of you guys wants it. You either just really want this glue bottle for whatever reason, or you don't want me to have it and like just wish I didn't have it because you want it so badly. You're like, if I can't have it, no one can. So I don't want to get anyone jealous. So okay. Uh, oh my God, no, no! Are you kidding? No. Oh no. I was making little things out of glue earlier, and I just tossed a glue bottle, and it landed on one of them. Oh my God, that's right, Jack. F for respects. F for respects. Look at that. It looks like it just jizzed on the glue bottle. Oh no. Have you guys been watching my stream? I've been trying to craft like the perfect, like, I don't know why. I've been trying to craft like the perfect semen shape out of glue. And that is exactly what you get for bread. You're right. And I had a one that was like essentially almost perfect, and my glue bottle landed right on it. I don't know why I've been trying to get the perfect shape for that, but I don't know. It's just I don't know. I tried, and now it's even more ruined than it already was. So anyway, guys, let's get back to envy. I'm sorry I bragged, guys. I didn't mean it's a nice glue bottle, but I mean it's everyone's glue bottles. This glue bottle, I should put it up for merch on the Cryptocast merch store. Um, oh yeah, shit, guys. By the way, speaking of that, we do have merch. Cryptid patches. Two people in my Discord server designed them. And I was kind of overseeing the process a little bit. I did. It's a Wendigo patch. It's a female Wendigo that says "Let's Bone" on it, and I'll post a link for those in the description below. But I mean, they're for sale. Two people in my chat worked on them, me, Pinatas, and Falric, Killzone Jaden. So be sure to check those out, guys. They worked really hard on them, and I did a video about them. So be sure to check that out as well. And the link that is in there where you can order your patch. Trying to get those sales up for them because they worked really hard on them and they're really nice. So Aristotle defined envy as pain at the sight of another's good fortune, stirred by those who have what we ought to have. So you heard like things about like greed, like well, not greed. It's like the green-eyed monster sort of thing, where like, oh, you have something I don't, I want it too, or I need it now, or all this stuff. Hmm. Well, let me see. There's really not a lot about this. There it is. I got the mosquito. Okay, yeah, guys. Pete is probably going to shut my stream down now because I killed a mosquito. Um, fuck. All right, let's see what we got here. No, that's the extinct animals list. I don't want to look at extinct animals. I want to go back to the sins. Um, So yeah, it's essentially just wanting something or wanting someone to not have something because you don't have it. And I mean, it's honestly, it's just kind of one of those things. I did not. That was you have no proof that was me, Jack. That was the government trying to break into my house, and they're using like equipment editing software, and they jammed my connection, so they made it seem like I said the F word when I did not say the F word. I would never say that. No, I'm fucking. But um, so envy may be caused by wealth. Envy may be caused like you can honestly like one of the 10 Commandments is like thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. So pretty much or thy neighbor's goods. So it's pretty much just like it can be anything. Like you want something that the person has that you don't have, whether that be food, a nicer house, all this stuff. I mean, it's pretty common like to get jealous like every now and then and want something that you don't have that somebody else has. I mean, honestly, everybody's been there before, so you and I have. So, um, that's really all there is to it. There's really not much about envy. It's just that kind of basic message. Individuals with narcissistic personality disorder are often envious of others or believe others are envious of them. A narcissist may secure a sense of superiority in the face of another person's ability by using contempt to minimize the other person. Aristotle defined envy. Oh, we talked about Aristotle. In Buddhism, the term eretia is commonly translated as either envy or jealousy. Eretia is defined as a state of mind which one is highly agitated to obtain wealth and honor for oneself, but unable to bear the excellence of others. The term mudita, sympathetic joy, is defined as taking joy in the good fortune of others. This virtue is considered the antidote to envy and the opposite of Schadenfreude. Oh, Schadenfreude experience of pleasure, joy, and self-satisfaction that comes from learning or witnessing the troubles, failures, or humiliation of others. Oh, that's good. Okay, so it goes way, way back, like honestly, thousands and thousands of years. All right, so we're 42 minutes in the stream, and I've only talked about two of these. I need to try to speed it up a bit. Let's go gluttony. Gluttony means overindulgence and overconsumption of food or drink or wealth items, particularly as status symbols. And gulping comes from the Latin glutire, meaning to gulp down or swallow. In Christianity, is considered a sin if the excessive desire for food causes it to be withheld from the needy. Some Christian denominations consider gluttony one of the seven deadly sins. Well, that's why we're talking about it. St. Thomas Aquinas, he said there are 5 ways to commit gluttony, and that is lot, eating food that is too luxurious, exotic, or costly. Studios or studiasi, eating food that is excessive in quality, too dately or elaborately prepared. Nimbus, eating food that is excessive in quantity too much. Um, Prepropere, eating hastily, too soon or at an inappropriate time. Ardenter, eating greedily or too eagerly. St. Thomas concludes that gluttony denotes um, inordinate con subsistence. I can't pronounce anything tonight, guys. In eating, the first 3 ways are related to the food itself, while the last two related to the manner of eating. He says that abstinence from food and drink overcome the sin of gluttony and act as abstinence as fasting. In general, fasting is useful to restrain conspicuous or concupiscence of the flesh. But yeah, sins have been. This whole thing's been like thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. I mean, and honestly, really, that's all there really is to gluttony. Let's talk about greed. There's barely anything on this, dear God. Greed or avarice is an inordinate or insatisfiable longing for material gain, be it food, money, status, or power. As a secular psychology concept, greed is an inordinate desire to acquire or possess more than one needs. The degree from inordinance is related to the inability to control the reformulation of once desired needs are eliminated, and that's essentially about that. And the purpose for greed is people believe that's possibly to deprive others from potential means, like survival, comfort, all that stuff. Yes, they are. Hey, also, guys, is my stream still going right now? Because sometimes I know it conks out like occasionally, but am I still going? Let me know in the live chat if you guys can hear me still, see me still. Am I still good? Um, please let me know. Because if not, I'm going to get worried. But yes, they do appear in the other Abrahamic religions, and honestly, other religions as well, like Buddhism and others. And it's widespread. So awesome, thank you. I know sometimes my streams conk out. I just want to be sure every now and then because I don't have my phone with me, and that's what I usually check. And St. Thomas Aquinas says that greed is a sin against God, just as all mortal sins. And as much as man condemns things eternal for the sake of temporal things, in Dante's Purgatory, the avaricious penitents were bound and laid face down on the ground for having concentrated too much on earthly thoughts. So greed is just like essentially just like storing and storing and storing all this stuff. Which I mean, like I have a lot of like I collect rocks and stuff and gems and stuff and other things too. And I realized I have I like over time when I was younger, I didn't see a problem with it. But then as I got older, I just realized I have too much. I need to get rid of some of this stuff and give it to people, sell it to people, people who would honestly appreciate it much more as I do. And honestly, I usually like over time, I just love getting stuff. And then like as I got older, I love giving it more to people than getting stuff. I mean, I still like getting stuff. Don't get me wrong. Everyone likes getting stuff. But I mean, I like giving stuff away like a little bit more. It makes people happy. So, and I like seeing people happy. So, um, that's that. Ooh, now let's talk about sloth. Not the like little slow animal, which is pretty much me when I get up in the morning. But sloth is one of the 7 capital sins. I've never heard them called capital sins. Does that mean it's like capital punishment? Why? I've never heard them called 7 capital sins. In Christian teachings, it is the most difficult sin to define and to credit as sin, since it refers to a peculiar jumble of notions dating from antiquity and including mental, spiritual, pathological, and physical states. One definition is a habitual um, disinclination eh, exertion or laziness, essentially. Views concerning the virtue for um, work to support society and further God's plan, suggesting that on the contrary, through inactivity, one invites sin. For Satan finds some mischief still for idle hands to do. Satan is the god of sin in the underworld. The god of sin, the underworld, and all things evil. Buddhism in sloth is one of the 5 hindrances in Buddhism, which is pretty much like um I don't know. I don't know much about Buddhism, honestly. So there's really, really not much on sloth that I can talk about that much because I don't know much. Like, there's really nothing on it, and honestly, sloth is essentially just being lazy. All right, guys, we got 2 sins left, and then we have the 7 holy virtues, which we'll talk about after that. Oh my god! Oh my god! The picture for wrath is just this angry man, just standing and like looks like he's about ready to fucking smash a chair, and it's fucking great. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh shit. It's just this angry man ready to smash a chair, and it's fucking amazing. Just can't get over that. Just like the randomest thing. Just an old man looks like he's ready to smash a chair. It's like this balding 70-year-old man. He's just standing like he has like the chair face to him like this, and he's just going. It's the funniest shit ever. And it says he's a professor. Oh my god, where did he get his degree from? I need to find this man later. His name is Professor Waldemar Ritter. In 2015, showing signs of anger while giving a lecture. Oh, that's one man that would ruin like a 15-year-old kid's birthday party. Just show up. I want my cake now. Flips the table. Where is it? Oh my god, it's great. Okay, now anyway, back to wrath. The emotion anger, also known as wrath or rage, is an intense emotional state. It involves a strong, uncomfortable, or hostile response to perceived provocation, hurt, or threats. And this honestly kind of gets into psychology of it, which is actually really interesting. I'll have to read about that another day because this is so much. But it doesn't talk about where I want to go. There we go. So yes, it is one of the 7 deadly sins. Buddhism, anger is defined in Buddhism as being unable to bear the object or the intention to cause harm to the object. So it's just pretty much just like being really angry. Anger is seen as the aversion with a stronger exaggeration, is listed as one of the 5 hindrances. Oh, that's nice. So wrath is just essentially just being really angry. Honestly, there's even an alien in Ben 10 who's this like wrestling tiger. His name's Wrath, and watch Ben 10. I missed that show. That was a good show. He's like this just giant sumo, like not sumo. He's like a wrestling tiger, and he has a voice. I can't do his voice. Let me see. Wrath can do that. I can't do it, but he has like this amazing voice. Like Wrath is just this fucking amazing fucking tiger. He's essentially just this giant buff fursuiter, and I fucking love it. Let's talk about pride. Oh shit. Why is okay. And we're not gonna be well. Nah, I don't know. Pride is an inwardly directed emotional term that carries 2 antithetical meanings with negative connotation. Pride refers to a foolishly and irrationally corrupt sense of one person's value, status, or accomplishments, used synonymously with hubris. So it's just pretty much like being like I'm the best, like being like proud of like everything, like I'm the best, nothing I do is wrong, I'm above everyone else. Yeah, I'm I got the whole world in my hand. This is how good I am. I'm better than everyone. Well, honestly, not because I have a world. I'm not better than everyone, but I you get the picture. No, I'm not going to toss this. This is old. Let's see. I need to find. I never opened that. Okay. And pride is essentially the same as vanity. Why is it? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there's gay pride on here. That's not what I was looking for, but I mean, okay. So pride is just being like, just like on top of everything, like feeling like you're on top of the world. You're better than everyone else, and there's really not too much on this. I mean, there's a lot, but I mean, it's just a lot of stuff that really doesn't what I need for the stream. Aristotle defined the vice of hubris as follows: to cause shame to the victim, not in order that anything may happen to you, nor because anything has happened to you, but merely for your own gratification. Hubris is not the requital of past injuries. This is revenge. As for the pleasure in hubris, its cause is this. Naive men think that by ill treating others, they make their own superiority greater. Thus, although pride and hubris are often deemed as the same thing for Aristotle and many other philosophers, hubris is altogether an entirely different thing from pride. All right, guys, and that was our very last seven deadly sin. Now we're going on to the seven holy virtues. Let's talk about chastity. Chastity is a virtue related to temperance, one of the seven virtues, and is defined as refraining from any sexual conduct or romantic relationships. Chastity is usually defined with the moral standards and guidelines of a culture, civilization, or religion. The term is closely associated with sexual abstinence, especially in the context of premarital and extramarital sex. So I'm going to try my best to kind of skim through these. But I mean, because there's a lot I still kind of want to cover, and I don't have too much, so I'm just going to try to go through these as fast as I can. But yes, virtue is essentially just kind of abstaining from like sex and chastity is abstaining from sex and pretty much that. And like in some religions, it's more like strict than others, like like monks, nuns, priests, um, all those people, and they choose not to have sex, or they can't have sex when they take the vow. So I mean, that's them performing chastity. For example, let's talk about temperance. That's the one that goes with gluttony. Temperance is defined as moderation or voluntary self-restraint. It's typically described in terms of what an individual voluntarily refrains from doing. This includes restraint from retaliation in the form of nonviolence and forgiveness, restraint from arrogance in the form of humility and modesty, restraint from excessive such as extravagant luxury or splurging now in the form of prudence, and restraint from excessive anger or craving for something in the form of calmness and self-control. So essentially temperance is just like pretty much being in control. And like just knowing like, hey, this is when I need to stop. Like I have to stop now, and this is how I do it. So like that makes sense that temperance goes with gluttony. Because people with gluttony, they just like eat and like do all this stuff like all the time. They can't stop for the most part. And then temperance, that sort of balances that out. And then it makes sense that chastity goes with lust, because lust is just like you want all this stuff, and chastity is like you restrain yourself from doing like sex and going for all this other stuff. So greed goes with charity. So let's talk about charity. Hmm. In Christian theology, charity is considered one of the seven virtues and is understood by Thomas Aquinas as the friendship of man and God, which unites us to God. He holds it as the most excellent of the virtues. Further, Aquinas holds that the habit of charity extends not only to the love of God, but also to the love of our neighbor. The Catechism of the Catholic Church defines charity as a theological virtue by which we love God above all things for his sake and our neighbor as ourselves for the love of God. So that's how the church defines charity. But for me personally, I say like charity is like giving your possessions, like giving stuff that you don't need anymore to people that need it. Like let's just say you're driving down the road and you see a homeless family or homeless man and you give them money. That's charity. That's helping them out. So, and that's kind of goes to like when you see people like, I don't need your charity. That's honestly like charity is like just helping people out when needed, giving them stuff when they need it, and just overall just like being a good person and just like excess stuff you don't need, just charity. I mean, that's like if you don't have a lot of stuff, people don't like if you have a lot of stuff, people donate to like Goodwill, Savers, homeless shelters, food banks, all that stuff, and for the people that can really use it out there. So we're going to talk about diligence, and that goes with sloth. I don't know why I said it like sloth. Just really I feel like every time I have to say that, I have to say it like sloth. Sloth. Sloth? Sloth. I don't know. Yes, it would. You're right about that, Bren. Yeah, so charity would also work with giving time as well, for like volunteering and everything, helping people out, like whether that be to like the church or to like volunteering in an animal shelter, food bank, just all those other places that I listed that need the help. That yes, that is charity. Diligence is one of the seven heavenly virtues. I have never heard of it called the seven heavenly virtues. Diligent behavior is an indicative of a work ethic, a belief that work is good in itself. Diligence is carefulness and persistent effort or work. So, diligent is just like being hardworking, doing what you think is right, and just having like a very, very well rounded work ethic. I mean, not a lot of people like honestly in today's society, I'd say there's some people out there that struggle with this, and then there are some people that can manage this really well. But I mean, there's really not a lot of people out there that like have like a good work ethic. Um, and I mean, they just kind of want the money and just really don't care about the job that they're doing. So I say that's something like a lot of people, even myself, sometimes need to work on. So diligence goes with sloth. We're going to talk about patience, and that goes with wrath. Patience is the ability to endure difficult circumstances such as perseverance in the face of delay, tolerance, or provocation without responding in annoyance/anger, or forbearance when under strain, especially when faced with longer term difficulties. Patience is a level of endurance one can have before negativity. Before negativity, it is also used to refer to the character trait of being steadfast. Antonyms include hastiness and impetuousness. So there's that one quote from the Bible: "Love is patient, love is always kind." Um, that's one of the places that patience is referenced in the Bible. Um, and it's a really good quote. I love that quote. So patience is just like being like, okay, this can wait. I don't need to get angry at this person. I'm just like, just being patient with people as well. Not just being like, okay, when is this going to get here? When is this going to get here? Like you order that really cool thing on Amazon you're waiting to get. Is it here yet? 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 That's pretty much the opposite of that. So you're just so like patience just be like, it'll get here when it gets here and I'll be happy when it comes. And just like somebody's really making you angry, really pissing you off. Patience is just like being like, okay, it's just kind of like taking a step back and just being like, just not getting angry with that person and blowing up in their face. So patience goes with wrath. We have two more left, and then I'll talk about them in some social media for a little bit because I don't have a lot of time. We're going to talk about gratitude. Gratitude, thankfulness, or gratefulness is a feeling of appreciation felt by and or similar positive response shown by the recipient of kindness, gifts, help, favors, or other types of generosity towards the giver of such gifts. So pretty much gratitude's like, oh, thank you so much for coming, or thank you for helping me with this. Thank you for saving me from drowning in the river. Just like being like really, just being really, really grateful. Like people send thank you notes like after birthday parties and everything for like thank you for coming to my party, thank you for the gift. It was good seeing you. Just that's gratitude right there. Just and that's the opposite of envy right there. Is just being like or like it's since it's the opposite of envy, I would say it's like in another way, it's sort of like wow, this is such a cool place that you have. I'm glad you have it, not me. I don't know if I'd be able to keep up on this house or something. So something like that. I guess something along those lines. Now we're going to talk about humility, and that goes with pride. Humility is a quality of being humble. Dictionary definitions accentuate humility as a low self-regard and sense of unworthiness. In religious context, humility can mean a recognition of self in relation to a deity, i.e., God, or deities, in self debasement with subsequent submissions to said deity as a member of that religion. Outside religious context, humility is defined as being unselved, a liberation of consciousness or self-harm, or no, unconsciousness of self, a form of temperance that is neither having pride or haughtiness nor indulging in self-deprecation. So pretty much it's just like being like, it's just being humble essentially. And it's just I mean like not like bearing down on yourself like constantly all the time. It's just sort of like, hey, um I'm trying to think of a good example here for humility. It's just sort of like, hey, I'm not the best person in the world, but I still care a lot about whatever the situation may be. So, I mean, it's just sort of things like that. I'd say that's pretty much what humility is. And humility is the opposite of pride. All right, now let's talk about these in social media a little bit, and then I'll wrap it up here. So, let's start things off a little bit with probably my most like familiar territory, Digimon. Okay, so there are the seven demon lords in Digimon, and each one of them is associated with a seven deadly sin. There's Lucimon, who is the leader of them all. He is associated with pride. Creepymon, yeah, that's actually his name. Creepymon is associated with wrath. Beelzemon is associated with gluttony. Which, if you've seen Beelzemon in the anime, um, he is not fat at all. He literally just rides a motorcycle, like wielding pistols, just shooting things. And it's fucking insane. I would not know that he's like the leader of the gluttony in the digital world. Lilithmon, she's the only female of the group. She's associated with lust. Barbamon is associated with greed. Belphamon is associated with sloth because he's always shown sleeping because he's in prison like that. And Leviamon is associated with envy, and each of those are based off of something as well. I'll might have to do that in another episode, but it's really, really cool. Um, that they associated all these in here. I wonder if the seven holy virtues are here. Oh yes, yes they are. the heavenly warriors. Okay, Mastermon. Wait, no, Mastamon is the virtue of humility. Cherubimon is the virtue of kindness. Slash Angemon is the virtue of temperance. Seraphimon is the virtue of patience. Ophanimon is the virtue of chastity. Clavis Angemon is a virtue of charity, and Anubismon is the virtue of diligence. And it's kind of cool to see them like this as well, because the seven demon lords are obviously demons, and the seven holy virtues, they are angel Digimon. So, and each of them represents one of the seven virtues, like I just mentioned. Seraphimon, originally the leader of the three celestial Digimon, he now leads the Heavenly Warriors, that's what they're called, with fairness and benevolence, being the highest ranking among the angel Digimon. His arch enemy is Daemon, the Demon Lord of Wrath, and that's essentially Creepymon. Ophanimon, originally one of the three celestial Digimon, her ranking higher than the new members. She treats them with respect. Her rival is Lilithmon, Demon Lord of Lust. Cherubimon, originally one of the three celestial Digimon, he usually acts as a voice of reason within the group. During battle, he always seeks out the sin of envy, Leviamon. With no fear of death, along with the blades of its metal wings and hands, it makes him the ideal opponent against the sin of gluttony, Beelzemon, and that's slash Angemon. Um, Mastamon. She is an angel Digimon who can manipulate the powers of light and darkness. Her control of these elements are on par with the demon lord of pride, Lucimon. Unlike Lucimon, however, she uses her powers to aid those in need without demanding anything in return. Despite serving Seraphimon, it is rumored she has enough power to overthrow him herself, but she refuses to do so out of loyalty and respect. Clavis Angemon, as a carrier of the X antibody, he strives to prove those infected with its power can still do great good. Due to the persecution he, along with many X Digimon, receive, he is stern yet compassionate towards others. It is this virtue that makes him an ideal opponent for the sin of greed, Barbamon. Anubismon. Being the guardian of the dark area, he's the only one who can hold his own against Belphamon's rage mode. And those are the Digimon Seven Heavenly Warriors and the Seven Demon Lords. All right. What do I want to? What was I going to look up now? The Full Metal Alchemist. All right. I just need to find them. Oh, good. Thanks, Lily. I just want to find the list of them. Dear God. Okay. All right. Let's start off with Lust. So Lust is this really pretty girl from Full Metal Alchemist. She's a major antagonist in the Full Metal Alchemist manga and anime adaptations. She's the first of the seven homunculi to be introduced, and she plays an important antagonistic role for the first part of the series. Um, her powers and abilities. She has huge strength, speed, reflexes, stamina, and durability. She cannot age and has near limitless healing factors. As long as there is power left in the Philosopher's Stone serving as her core, She can recreate her body from nothing, even when reduced to dust in a burst of flames. As the ultimate spear, Lust can turn her fingertips into long blades that cut through virtually anything, which she can extend seemingly without limit. She's powerful. Okay, there's let's just let's just say that she's extremely, extremely powerful. Let's talk about Gluttony. I love this little guy. He's funny as shit. Gluttony is a minor yet much featured antagonist of the Fullmetal Alchemist manga, and 2 anime series. An overweight and childish homunculus only interested in eating, especially humans. Gluttony is one of the most innocent homunculi, obeying orders without question and being tasked to track people to erase evidence. He was voiced by Tetsushiro Tori in the Japanese dub version and Chris Kaysen in the English dubbed version. So yeah, his chest can open up as well to eat more things, which is crazy. And really, his really only power, it looks like, is to eat people, and he has strong jaws, like able to destroy wood or steel, and even Greed's diamond hard carbon structure. So he can pretty much eat anything. He's got, yeah, he's literally a black hole. Lily's right. He's a black hole. Let's talk about Envy. Yay. There she is. Envy is a major antagonist of the Fullmetal Alchemist manga and its 2 anime adaptations. Envy is a prominent member of the 7 homunculi with the power to shapeshift, which she uses to spy or impersonate people, and a ruthless and malevolent sadist who enjoys tormenting humans. Envy has the power to shapeshift into animals, people, or human aspects that he made up. Envy can talk under any form. He has been proven to absorb bodies through his tentacles. Through the full extent of his ability remains unclear. He can fuse his limbs with organic matter and flesh, enabling him to take control of the body he infests. However, he is not able to fuse with minerals and non-organic matter. Now let's go to Greed. Greed is one of the 7 homunculi and a villain from the Fullmetal Alchemist series. He's notable among his fellow homunculi for his independence, which led him to betray father and work on his own. He is first introduced as an anti-villain when he becomes a full-fledged villain and ultimately an anti-hero following his rebirth in the body of the Zinx Prince, Ling Yo. He was voiced by Chris Patton and Greed, and then Troy Baker. So he has like a major role in this, and he's actually he's like a major role. I don't want to spoil anything with this guy, but he's a cool dude. Let's talk about Sloth. I remember Sloth. Sloth is a minor antagonist in the Fullmetal Alchemist manga and 2 animated adaptations. A giant, muscular, and dim-witted homunculus who is tasked to do huge works by his peers. He rarely talks or even thinks, as he finds it too tiresome. Like Pride and Wrath, Sloth's appearance genuinely differs between the 2003 and the manga and the 2009 series. Sloth lacks any flashy powers. He's by far the physically strongest. He's able to crush someone into a pulp by merely smacking, tossing a tank like a rag doll, digging through stone effortlessly. He can use chains on his wrists like flails. He's also seems immune to damage, shrugging off mortars. Only alchemic spikes and blades can pierce his steel-hard skin, though his eyes and the inside of his mouth are vulnerable, and he can be frozen by intense cold. And despite of his enormous size, Sloth is extremely fast. He hurls himself at his target like a devastating missile, faster than the eye can see. He charges his attack. He charges his lack accuracy, but he can widen their range by spraying his arms and legs. No, he can keep them closed. I don't think anybody wants to see him spread his legs. Wrath. Wrath, also known as Führer King Bradley, is a major antagonist in the manga series and anime adaptations. He first appears as somewhat happy-go-lucky ruler of the country of Amestris, but he is later revealed to be one of the 7 homunculi, created by the being known as Father. His entire life was devised so that he could rule Amestris on Father's behalf to help him enact his plan. He is voiced by Hideki Shibata in the Japanese version of the anime, and the late Ed Baylock of the English version in the latter, whom also voiced Jose Porla. Wrath may be unable to regenerate, but he has exceptional speed, strength, agility, and durability, even greater than that of his siblings. He can escape from a collapsing bridge in the midst of an explosion, dodge point-blank gunfire, toss a full-grown body with one hand, and fight to full extent of his skills when severely wounded. So he is just insanely crazy. Oh yeah, he does have a good backstory. Like, his backstory is phenomenal. Now we have one more left, and that is Pride. And Pride is honestly a kid, like the kid out of the bunch, but probably the most dangerous in my opinion. Pride is the secondary antagonist in the Full Metal Alchemist manga series and anime adaptations. He is the first homunculus created by Father, the primary antagonist of the series. He lives with the homunculus Wrath, the ruler of the country of Amestris, known by the population as King Bradley, posing as his adopted son Salim Bradley to create a facade of benevolence. He was voiced by Brittany Karbowski. He is the most powerful of the 7 deadly sins, it says. And when you meet him, he's just like this really happy-go-lucky kid. And like the other homunculi, Pride's source of power is the Philosopher's Stone, serving as his core. The thousands of human souls sacrificed to create the stone and imprisoned inside it are linked to his own. The stone grants him enhanced strength, speed, reflexes, stamina, near limitless regenerative abilities. Pride is also immune to normal weapons as huge claws do not even scratch him, and he states that guns are useless against him. As the most powerful homunculus, he wields the deadliest power. He casts a demonic-looking shadow, which he can expand to cover an entire city, is harder than a diamond, and impervious to conventional harm. Pride can both spread his shadows on surfaces or give it physical substance. He controls his shadow like his limbs, and he can expand or reshape it to form tendrils or jaws. It's crazy. He's a fucking crazy ass kid. And then honestly, since I'm already over time and I don't know much about the anime or manga, the Seven Deadly Sins, I'm not gonna talk about those this time around. So feel free to look that up on your own time because I honestly have no idea about it. All I know is Full Metal Alchemist really and Digimon. So I'm just putting out there that the Seven Deadly Sins anime and manga is out there. So feel free to check it out. Let me know how it is. It's on my watch list, and I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not gonna look it up. But with that being said, guys, if you guys liked this video, be sure to hit that like button, dislike it if you dislike it. Um, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, become a member of the Crypto Crew today. Also, guys, next week, so it's either going to be the Mexican urban legends or we're going to be talking about the reptiles and amphibious creatures. The Sun Miracle in Fatima. Yeah, I can do that. I'll add it to the list. For yeah, I can definitely do that. I believe that happened somewhere down in Mexico as well. If that's the case, I can definitely do that during that Mexican stream. I promise I'll do that for you. And if I forget, remind me, and I'll do a special episode on it. So yeah, next week it's either going to be well, actually, it's this coming up week. Oh no, oh, it's in Europe. Okay, well, okay. Before we end this stream completely, let's cover the Sun Miracle. Yes, it was in Portugal. All right. So these kids, I really don't need to look this up because I know about it. So these kids, this group of kids, they were saying that how they saw this woman who told them like this exact date, this exact time, that they to look up at the sky and there would be an amazing miracle in the sky. And all the people were like, "Oh yeah, nothing's gonna happen," but they still showed up anyway. They looked up and like after a few minutes, like nothing happened. They're like, "Okay, nothing's gonna happen. Let's just leave." And like they're like, "No, wait, something." And they said like the sun just like started to move around in the sky, like really like brilliantly, like all these rainbows like were coming out of it and everything, like creating like all these like beautiful, beautiful colors and everything. So it was deemed a miracle by the Catholic Church. Now, I know you want a non-Catholic opinion, so I mean, I know about it, but I don't know like intense much about it. So I'm checking the wiki here. Um, believers' explanations. Um, let me see. Criticism. People believe that could be a perihelion in rainbow colors, which is called a sundog or a mock sun, called a perihelion. Meteorology is an atmospheric optical phenomenon that consists of a bright spot to one or both sides of the sun. Two sundogs often flank the sun with a 22-degree halo. So it's like this kind of like so it's sort of like almost like a mirror almost. It makes like a rainbow around the sun, but it looks like there's two other suns right next to it, and it looks like they're connected with a leech, which is why they're called sundogs. So people believe that could be a perihelion or another kind of solar phenomenon or something maybe like an aurora borealis. I mean, I don't think it's an aurora borealis because I mean the conditions weren't right for an aurora borealis, but it very well could have been a perihelion, but or very well that it could be that the Virgin Mary actually did appear to these kids and was like, and this is actually deemed a miracle. So honestly, if you for the non-Catholic opinion for you, I would say most scientists believe that was just a perihelion and nothing more. But I mean, that doesn't explain how like the sun kind of danced all over the sky. So we really don't know. But I mean, that's what most scientists believe that the miracle of the sun could have been. So that's really all I got for you. I'll even here. I'll type it here for you. If you look, if you look that up, it should talk a lot more about it than pretty much I know more than I know about it. So feel free to check that out when you can. And yeah, anytime. If you guys have any more suggestions for me or anything in future streams, future stream suggestions, cryptid rating suggestions, anything will be greatly appreciated. So I thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. Again, hit that like button if you liked it, dislike it if you dislike it. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and become a member of the Crypto Crew today. Jesus, every time I'm down here, my nose itches. I think it's the mold. But if you're new guys too as well, my Discord link is in the description below, as well as my social media. Please feel free to check that out. It's a great community on all my platforms. We'd love to have you guys there. So feel free to check that out. And also, just be prepared for either Mexican cryptids, legends, ghosts next week, or reptiles and amphibian cryptids next week with my special guest. Also, yeah, if you guys ever want to guest star on my show at some point, just reach out to me via my social media and tell me like what you'd like to talk about, and I'll see if I can maybe get you on the show at some point if you guys want to talk about some stuff. So yeah, if you guys want to come out and do that sometime, just reach out to me on social media because I'd love to have more guests on the show because it's always a little bit more fun with a guest. And maybe at some point, since we did like religious stuff today, maybe we could talk about creatures in the Bible. Or oh no, it happened again. It happened again. It happened again over here. Over here. It happened again over here. There's something there. Another one of those lights. I just saw it on my screen when I looked at it for a split second. There was oh my god. These have been showing up a lot lately in my streams. I don't know what it is. Maybe a ghost, maybe something different. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. But man, these things keep showing up. I don't know what it is, what it means. But shit, let me know if you guys saw anything there. Because I swore I saw something. I don't know. But yeah, maybe I could do like though, as I was saying, I could maybe do creatures from the Bible and everything, talk about that, like the different angel types, different like the unicorns are mentioned in the Bible, all this other stuff. I could talk about those at some point. I'd love to do a stream on that if I am not already. So yeah, and if you guys, like I said, if you want to guest star on the show at some point, just shoot me a message via social media and just let me know. And I'll see you guys next time. So thank you guys so much for watching Cryptocast today. I've been your host, Parker. Stay spooky, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. I really need to do another in. Oh yeah, we can definitely do that at some point. Yeah, but yeah, I really need to investigate some of this stuff sometimes because I keep seeing the little lights on my computer. Like, I don't know. I need to figure something out there.